Now, Theresa is near and dear to my heart, not only because she is teaching this afternoon. You can come on up and join me. You nervous, Theresa? Don't be nervous. Don't be nervous. I want her to come and join me because she has been, all of my coaching clients are such a gift to me, frankly, because they are asking me to do something that's not my plan. And so while I hope I am supporting and helping them, they are such a gift in supporting and helping me, really calling out of me something that is not like Brenda, I don't want to be doing a lot of this, y'all. Very uncomfortable. But it's my privilege and my excitement to see that some of the things that God has asked me to do with the Sister Circle and this idea of a collective, a group of women that can rise up and train other women, is embodied in women who I have coached. And Theresa, who came so ready, her website, she will tell you more about that. She is a woman who I am coaching who is teaching you today. So this is like the embodiment of what God is asking me to do and the fruit from the tree of my obedience. And so I'm excited to have Theresa get to know you today and for you to get to know her too. Both of us are like, how did we get here and why are we here? Aren't we a little bit?
Of course, I am.
Hold your mic closer because we want to hear your voice.
Do they really?
They do. They do. Okay, so Theresa, we've had the opportunity to, beyond your questions, website questions, and building the list and getting some clients, I've had an opportunity to hear your story of why what you're doing is even important to you. So let's get to know you a little bit first of all. You're married.
Yes.
How long have you been married?
33 years.
33 years, okay. Mm-hmm. And y'all have kids?
Yes, we have 2 adult daughters.
So you're empty nesting.
Well, not quite.
Both of them ricocheted or just one?
Just one has ricocheted so far, and she has a 3-year-old little boy, and they're currently living with us.
So you're having so much fun. Say yes.
Yes.
We're saying yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so your full-time job is, you work in what industry?
Okay, during the day, I am a registered nurse, and I work for Medicaid HMO.
Okay.
I work from home. I've done my work in the trenches,
Yes.
blessing others. So now I work from home as a registered nurse.
Okay. Now, you are here today, though, because we're going to be talking about money. Money is not directly connected to registered nursing.
It's not.
Okay, so this is obviously something that was not on your radar initially.
Correct.
And God has put it on your radar.
Yes, he has.
Okay, tell me about that. Tell me why. Tell me about your experience and how you were helped and why you now want to help others.
Okay, so how it started out. When me and my husband, we got married, and I don't want to share too much of the story in case some of the ladies want to join me for my breakout session. But when we got married, Chrystal, we knew absolutely nothing about money. And when I say nothing, I mean nothing. We didn't know what a stock was, stock market, none of that. So I'll save the rest for the breakout session. But God blessed us with some neighbors that lived in front of us that I really wanted absolutely nothing to do with because we were kind of isolated. We were to ourselves. My husband was active duty military, and we just really didn't want to be bothered with folks. But this couple, they would not give up of trying to reach us. So eventually I said yes. I went over to her house. We both did because they invited us to dinner. And lo and behold, she had a finance book on her coffee table, y'all. And at the time, I was in nursing school, so I was not dumb. I knew books were out there, but because of the way that I was raised, I didn't know that there were books out there about finances. I picked up the book. She allowed me to take it home to read it and borrow it. And that's been at least over 27 years ago, and our lives have never been the same. And so I love talking about money, and I am a nurse. God called me to do that. I serve people. But now I'm getting older, and eventually we're going to look at transitioning and not working anymore. Well, I don't want to retire and just be a lump on the log because God built me for more than that, and I'm not going to be sitting around boring and waiting to die. So I love talking about money. So I want to help others learn about money. And I can't tell you, like in the beginning of our marriage, my husband was fine, y'all. But when it came time to pay them bills after we got married, that fine didn't pay no bills. And many nights, he wouldn't know it, but I would wake up like to go to the bathroom, and I would go back to bed, and Chrystal, I would just cry. Because I was in charge of managing the money because he was active duty and had to go out in the field a lot. And I didn't want him to know, because he still was fine. But we were still broke. And I would just cry and cry at night because sometimes we wouldn't have enough money to pay the bills. Like even now, just telling you about it, it just rears up some feelings in me. And a lot of people think because you're in the military, oh, you broke, you broke. But when you're in the military, you have a choice whether you're going to be broke or not. And so because we went through so much and we were so ignorant to money, the rest of my journey, I plan on me and my husband helping women and men and couples win with their money because we want each and every one of you to retire with dignity.
So the couple that invited you over, I have so many questions. The couple that invited you over, were they just being friendly?
Okay, I'm going to be honest, and I am not a racist. I give you my word, I'm not. My son, he is Caucasian. All of my children, my sister will tell you, we are, the mixed pot?
Mixed, blended,
yes.
All the things, yes.
Yes, we are all things. So back then, when we got stationed in New Jersey, we were on a base, Fort Dix, and it wasn't many black families on the street. Actually, I think they were the only black family, so when they saw us, they were excited. And me and my husband was like, oh, gosh, they at the door. Don't answer it. Be quiet.
So they were just being friendly.
They were being friendly, but we did not know. And y'all, if you stay with me for the breakout session, you might hear this story again. But yes, they were being friendly. And God don't go against our free will. But Chrystal, I'm not going to cry because you don't want to be in her hot seat. God used that couple to be the trajectory to where we are today. We are still the closest friends. And I want each and every one of you to hear me when I say this. If you don't know someone's character, you don't know their integrity, you might need to take a step back and say, God, are you trying to use this person to be a part of my story? Because you don't know. And had they not continued to pursue us, I don't know where me and my husband would be today. I don't know. So they changed our lives, and right now we are still the closest friends because, like Brenda said, we said yes, finally.
Well, I did not know that y'all were still in connection like that.
Yes.
But I just thought it was so interesting that the trajectory and even you being here today is about somebody pursuing you. You know what I mean? And so they were just doing it out of just being friendly.
Being friendly, Chrystal. And the wonderful thing is they were trying to manage their money too. So that's why she had a book. But the sad thing is I didn't know that there were books about learning about finances. And here she was, black, reading a book by a white author, learning about money. And because we were kind of on the same page, now me and my husband, we were like 25. We still didn't really care about money. But we did things together that didn't make us broke. Like we would go find things to do together.
Yeah.
That was free.
Y'all were able to get on the same page.
Yes.
Because they were on the same. Because I think so many times some of the answers that we want come in packages that we don't expect.
Yes.
I know Jackie Hill Perry talks about that, about the woman who discipled her. And and I don't know anything about her. I don't know what color she is, how old she is or whatever. She just said she would have never thought that the woman who discipled her would have come in that package. And some of us are separating ourselves from God's blessing for us because we don't think that what we need comes in the package that he's bringing it to us in. Some of us want community, but we have decided in our own minds what that community should look like. And so when certain people in our lives are friendly, while we're over here lonely, these people we're running from them.
Yes.
When that may be exactly how God wants to deliver the answer to your prayers. And so it's amazing to know that y'all's yes turned into a decades-long friendship and relationship. That's really interesting. Okay, so talk to me about, because I know that there's a list of friends that I have that I always used to. Like right before an event, a couple of friends would text me and say, hey, girl, I'm going to be in town. Like, can I come to your event? So I have a list of them that I always, and anytime I'm doing something in Dallas, I will say, just come on, just be my guest. Most of them don't come. You know what I mean? Like they see me all the time. But because we were talking about money, most of them said, girl, now what is happening? I'm going to see you on Saturday because I need to talk about money. It scratches us a different way. And I think the emotional thing that you were talking about is important. Just to pause for a second in there. Describe what you were feeling laying in bed. You kind of talked about it quickly. What did that feel like?
Like even now talking about it, my mind can really still go back there. It feels like now my heart rate is like 120 because our financial lives impact us so. And honestly and truthfully, after I saw that fine wasn't paying the bills, I really wanted to go back home and be where my grandmama was, because if I was going a little broke, she would spot me, some gas money. But we was so broke, and we was stationed in Conroe, Texas. And I'm from South Carolina.
You were broke and separated.
Yes. So I didn't have the money to go back home, so I had to stay and endure it. But it made me anxious, I was nervous, and then I didn't share it with my husband, so he had no idea that I was battling this, because I think I didn't want to let him down because he was going out in the field. A lot of times he would come back dirty, and it was my responsibility to make sure that we had enough money there. So it was not a good feeling laying there at night with the tears rolling on your pillow because you don't want to sit down to pay the bills because you don't know if you're going to have enough money to cover the bills. So it wasn't a good feeling. Like, I can still remember it like yesterday.
Anybody else know what she's talking about? Yeah, it is like you said, it impacts us so greatly because it's tied to how we live and whether our needs are met. It's tied to enjoyment. Even if there is some overflow, can we actually do the things? It's tied to the indicator of our contentment. Do we not have enough money because we don't have enough money, or do we not have enough money because we're not content with our needs being met? It's tied to so many different things. And I love that you're honest even about thinking back to that, remembering that, even still impacts you, which is what makes you such an empathetic coach. It makes you an empathetic person in dealing with people, because you're not just saying, here's what to do. You understand how it feels to even approach it. When you said you don't want to look at the bills because you don't know there's going to be enough, I know that I used to have seasons in my life where I would hear stories of people not paying bills or just not answering the phone. You would hear the thing about people not answering the phone when the creditors would call. And I would just be like, I just don't understand what the big deal is. Like, just pay your bills. Sometimes you just need to keep living long enough to know what that's like, to have that experience where really something unexpected happens in your life and there's a medical situation and those medical bills are stupid and you just don't have that a lot of times sitting around. So the empathy is what I think makes you great. Okay, so what do you find is a typical and common mindset problem that when you've just out of the goodness of your heart served people in this way, that you can say, 9 times out of 10, when somebody comes to me with a money problem, there's probably this mindset problem. Have you ever looked at your bank account and wondered where all your money went? Not because you were irresponsible, not because you were being careless, but because life is busy, expenses add up quickly, and sometimes it feels like you're making financial decisions on the fly instead of financial decisions with intention. Now, if that's you, I want you to know that there is a better way. That's why I created a course called Your Money 101. Spend smarter, live freer. Over 13 weeks, I'll walk you through practical, manageable steps that will help you understand where your money's going, create a budget that actually works for your life, make more confident financial decisions, and begin building habits that support your long-term goals. I'm not trying to make you feel guilty, and I'm not trying to make you wealthy overnight, but I do want you to be a wise steward of what God has entrusted to you and to create more margin, more confidence, and more peace in your financial life. Because when you have a plan for your money, you're able to spend less time worrying about money and more time focusing on what matters most. So if you're ready to take control of your finances, one intentional step at a time, go to thesistercircle.com/money and join me for Your Money 101.
Well, I had this one client that her mindset, and I really do, like, no judgment, Chrystal, but sometimes people get used to being broke. They get used to living paycheck to paycheck, and their mindset just cannot adjust to living beyond being broke. And so I can really tell when someone comes to me if they're going to do what it takes to get their finances in order. Like, because they're so used to living that way, they can't even handle getting their finances in order and maybe having a surplus so that they can give to the kingdom, or having a surplus so that they can save for an emergency fund. They get used to it. They're set in their ways. They don't want nobody telling them what to do with their money. They might want to, like, tickle around just to get some ideas, but they're happy riding off into the sunset, not knowing whether or not when Walmart days come, they're going to be saying, welcome to Walmart, because they won't take care of themselves now. I can tell as soon as they
How
come
can you
talking
tell?
to me.
What are people who are mind-bended to scarcity, what do they sound like? What are some of the things that you hear people say?
One of the main things I've heard, this was this one lady that I'll never forget that I was working with, and I was trying to help her with her mindset. And she was just like moving money around. Like, she would have money in her checking account, then she would move it to her savings account. Then she would go and take the money out from her savings account because she had a bill to pay. And so when I just saw her doing those mechanics, I knew that she wasn't ready, because we had her set up where she had enough money in her checking account, but then she would call me or text me and say, well, Theresa, I put this here, but I decided to move it back to my checking account so I could pay this bill. But why? But when they won't stop spending, they won't make the effort to take their lunch to work because they're so used to buying lunch, that person is not ready to change. If I say, just take your lunch to work 3 days, well, I eat with so-and-so on Tuesday, and then on Wednesdays we have a longer lunch break, and I get to run my errands. When you start making excuses,
Yep.
you are not ready.
I also heard when you talk about moving money around, it also a lot of movement that doesn't actually make a difference, because people will do stuff, but it's not impactful.
Right.
And you were giving a clear plan that she was making excuses for that she wouldn't follow.
Right.
So do you want my help or not?
But she's like, now, like, I still talk to her, but she's comfortable being that way. And like, she is like 60. And Chrystal, what bothers me so much for her is that she's getting older. She works in customer service. She's growing tired. But because she has not prepared for her retirement,
She doesn't have an option.
she's going to have to keep working until either they get rid of her or she's not able to work anymore. And that's what makes my heart cry, because I don't want her to have to say, welcome to Walmart, or have to go live with her children because she didn't plan ahead for her future.
And neither one of those things are problematic if that's what you want to do. The issue is that you have an option to do what you want to do.
Right.
And that you're not forced to do what you have to do because you didn't exercise wisdom.
Right. And Chrystal, and you may know better than me, and so this is going to be a word, too, that I use in my breakout session. But because each of you are not going to be there, I'm going to use this word with y'all. Dysfunctional. Do not get used to and accustomed to a dysfunctional financial life. That's what happened to my husband and I. But God turned it around, and because of the neighbors that we were avoiding, I'm sitting here in this seat today across from Chrystal Evans Hurst. Don't get used to a dysfunctional financial life.
Okay, apart from, did you hear the authority in her voice right there, though? That's it. That's what I love to see it here. Just the passion coming through.
I care.
You do. Apart from being broke, not having enough money to pay your bills, what does dysfunctional look like?
Okay, so this is how my husband and I got used to well, I can't even say used to because that's the way we were raised and what we believed.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you are a fish, you don't know that you're wet. So if you can tell me, like, how do I know I'm dysfunctional? Because if I have always lived this way, it's normal to me.
Right, and I didn't realize we were dysfunctional until we got older and started living within a budget. But we were raised to believe as long as you got good credit and you can pay your bills, you got it going on. But I'm telling you right now, that's a lie from the pits of hell, and it is not true. And so that's what me and my husband got used to. So he was in the military, right? He would get paid on the 1st and the 15th. And if we had $50 left, hallelujah, thank you, Jesus.
We made it.
We made it. But no one told us you need to have an emergency fund. No one told us that you need to prepare for your retirement because you're not going to be in the military forever. No one said, okay, if you got $50 extra and you got a used washer and dryer on credit, don't you think you need to take some of that money and pay it on that washer and dryer? So we just was used to being broke. We was used to not having enough. Chrystal, that's a dysfunctional life. And if you are living paycheck to paycheck and you know good and well you make more than enough money to live within your means or below your means, but you're used to that, that's a dysfunctional life, and God does not plan or want us to live that way. That's a dysfunctional life. Financial life is what I called it.
What does the mindset shift that you all have developed over the years, what does it free you up to do now? Because what you just described is a lack of freedom. How has your growth and development and education about money and obedience to the plans that you've been given, how has that freed you up in this season? How do you feel free?
Okay, and so when God gave me this assignment, when God gave this opportunity to me, I have committed to God that I will not ever take glory for anything that he has done in our lives concerning helping people with their money. But can I get up and stand up and demonstrate this for you?
You can.
So for us saying yes and getting our finances in order, this is what I can do whenever I get ready. And I'm not bragging, and I thank God for it, because a lot of the things that you're going to have to get used to, you're going to have to learn to say no to yourself, because we're not children, we are adults. But this is what it got me to do. Let my boss start talking trash to me and I don't like it. Let me cut that computer off. I might tell you I ain't clocking in tomorrow. But you know what, Chrystal, I got options. If I don't want to clock in on that computer on Monday.
You're not.
I'm not. I'm not.
So you're working.
Yes, I'm
at this
working.
job because you're choosing to.
I'm choosing to, and I'm going to be transparent with each and every one of you. Like, to be here and to serve and to have a website and all this stuff and to be in a cohort, y'all, that take money. That ain't in our budget. So right now, I am working so that I can pay as I go to be able to stand here before y'all. But if I don't want to turn that computer on Monday, only because I like my boss, I'm going to text her and say, boo, I ain't coming back, I'm tired.
Oh, I love you so much. I love you so much. Okay.
I love you more.
Okay, I think that the one thing, and I've told you this, that has marked, and it makes me excited, but you mentioned, you're giving somebody a plan and they're making a bunch of movements, but they're not following the plan. They're not doing what you told them to do. So the one thing that has become very clear, and it honestly challenges me, is if I tell you to do something, you do it. I mean, like, quick. So we've had conversations where we looked at your website and said, okay, well, why don't you, change these product offerings, make this live, make sure this is connected. It'll be like 24, 48 hours, and it's like done. And the thing is, I was actually surprised by that, because I'm so used to people getting information from me and then they don't actually do it. I mean, and I don't necessarily mean in a coaching capacity. I'm just saying, just people. Everybody wants information, and I'm happy to give it to them, but I'm so used to people not actually doing it. Are you a naturally obedient person?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I am, yes.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I like to follow the rules.
Yeah. Do you have, it sounds like you do, but don't let me put words in your mouth. Do you have grace for people who are not? Okay, let's just say I sign up, I'm gonna do one of your programs, but I'm not doing what you're telling me to do. What happens?
I will continue to work with you, but if I see, like at the 90 days, if you're not putting any effort in, it's time for us to part ways until you're ready to make the move to change your financial life. I'll give you 90 days because you have to accept this new change. Like, you're not going to change overnight.
Right.
Because you're an adult now. It's ingrained in you. So I'll give you 90 days to change, but you'll know, like, immediately whether somebody really want to change, because they are going to do what you ask them to do, and they really may go beyond what you ask them to do.
Well, first of all, I think there's so many things in that. Number one, you say you know, but you'll give them a chance.
Oh, yes.
But after 90 days, why don't you keep going with someone who says they want help, but you don't see change? Why don't you go longer?
Because in my mind, they're wasting their money that they need to go towards their life. They're not ready to change, and I don't feel like God would want me to continue to take their money if they're not ready to change. And so that's my conscience. If I continue to work with them, I definitely would not charge them. I would just check in with them, maybe by text or email, to see how things are coming. Are you ready for us to continue to work together? Because I can't abuse people, Chrystal. Mm-hmm. I need to be able to see change.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think it's important, when we know, and I love that, when we know what God is asking us to do in any given season, that it's okay for us to set boundaries for the people that we're pouring into and for ourselves. The boundaries of your time, but also of you charging her.
Right.
I mean, all of that is just, there are some people that, whether it's what we're talking about, which is business or service related, coaching related, but some of what you were saying, we were talking about mentoring with Brenda, it's like, there are some of us that are mentoring people, and it is for the long haul. And then there are some times where you just have to say, everything I'm telling you to do, you're not doing. And I don't want to waste your time, and I don't want you to waste mine. And until you're ready to make some changes, I love you, but we need to do something different. And you've got to really ask the Lord how you want to navigate those things, because God values obedience.
Right.
And when you see how he worked in the lives of so many people in the Bible, like, Abraham, when he was told to sacrifice Isaac, it was like he got up early the next morning to move quickly with obedience. And so I want you to ask yourself, is the change that you're asking God to make in your life, particularly as we go into our breakouts later today, related to finances, what he has told you to do, are you doing it? Because we'll pray for the other thing when the small yes we're not willing to do.
Right.
Obedience matters.
It does. And I've learned, too, by being in this book of the Lord, that it brings blessings. So we just have to obey.
We have to
obey. We want him to bless us.
Now, you're doing Bartelle's financial management with your husband. Y'all have a whole YouTube channel. But then you just broke off and you have your own. When I had to find that out. You didn't tell me that. And
Nope.
I was Googling and had to find it. And when I found it, you were like, okay, Chrystal, I'm going to tell you the whole truth. I'm curious why you didn't tell me about that one at first.
Because, girl, them thumbnails jacked up, and then I'm so used to being on the podcast with my husband, and then we would have a guest, and I would be having a conversation. But with me branching out on my own to help women, I got to kind of learn how to present myself, and I got to learn how to talk to the camera. Nobody's there. And, y'all, I was still kind of raggedy with that. I didn't want Chrystal to see that. Y'all know this girl is an amazing YouTuber and an amazing podcaster. I was not going to let her look at my YouTube channel. No.
But hold on a minute. But you had paid me.
I didn't care.
to coach you.
I didn't care. You was not looking at that.
But you were not giving me the information that I needed to give you input.
Because I wasn't ready for you to see that stuff.
Okay, you're doing a great job. But I think I'm saying that because I think often, and then we've talked about it. We've talked about lighting and cameras and all that. Mm-hmm. I think one of the things that we often do is I do it. I'll go to people, but I don't want them to know how the whole thing. And so I just tell them the part of the thing because I don't want them to judge me on the other part that's raggedy.
That's it.
Right? So I'm asking for help, but I don't want you to know how raggedy my stuff actually is.
Hallelujah.
Okay. Do you find that people do that with money? That they'll tell you about, I'm just trying to figure out how to save for retirement, but they don't tell you that they haven't paid taxes in a while or how far in debt they are in, that they only give you a piece of the puzzle. And what do you say to them when you find that out?
When I find that out, I already know that it's because they're embarrassed. Like, how could I have allowed my money to get this bad? How could I be that deeply in debt? But what do I tell them? That it's okay. You're starting now. That's in our rearview mirror. We're starting now, and we're going to move forward. We're going to fix this, and it might be 2 years from now. It might be 3 years from now, but you're going to have a different relationship with your money. You're going to be working on your retirement plan, and you're going to have an emergency fund, and you're going to feel empowered with what you see once you get done working with me.
So if somebody's in the room and they are feeling like my stuff is completely jacked, I am overwhelmed, I am anxious, I am stressed, I am laying awake in bed at night, and maybe my husband knows, maybe he doesn't, maybe I'm single, maybe I'm completely just flabbergasted at the problem that I have to solve with my money, what would you say to her?
That it can be done. You have to do it afraid. This is one of the things that Joyce Meyer said that I stick to it. Do it afraid, because just sit at your kitchen table. Don't do it when you're tired. Get all your bills. Put them down on that table. Look at how much money you got coming in and how much money you got going out. And you're going to have to go from there. But don't do nothing without prayer. And if your husband doesn't know, that's the enemy using fear to cause division in your relationship. And so in order for you to be successful, you have to face your reality.
You have to look at it.
Yeah.
And you're not the only person who's been in that situation, and you're not the only person who's felt that way, and you can do something about it. But you can't start unless you look.
Oh, yeah, you have to look. I mean, even if you have to sit down and cry, even if you have to ask yourself, how did I get here? You have to sit down and look. That's the only thing that saved me and my husband. We sat down and we looked. And I was honest, and I told him. Later, not at the beginning. But I told him.
I love it. Y'all, would you help me thank Miss Theresa and all of her doing it afraid? I'm excited.
Yes. I'm excited.
I know that there are a lot of places that you could spend your time online, and I'm grateful you spent a few minutes here with me today. If you've been watching my channel for a while, subscribing to the channel, showing up in the comments, or finding value in the conversations, I want to personally invite you to take the next step. The Inner Circle is my membership community, and it's for women who want ongoing growth, encouragement, and practical support. Every Monday morning, you'll receive fresh teaching from me, and throughout the month, you'll have access to resources, courses, challenges, and a community of women who are committed to becoming all that God has created them to be. So subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Leave a comment, like the video, introduce yourself. And if you're ready for more, click the link below and come join me inside of the Inner Circle. I'd love to see you there.